Okay, so hello, my name is Annalisa, and I have my ex account and others too, but um, I'm gonna put this on X, and I don't know where else, but anyway. Um, I just wanted to bring this up because I've been following Thomas Massey now, and because he doesn't take any money from APAC. And on Monday, he had a money bomb where he raised over 350,000 or even over 400,000, I believe. So this is what's important about this race in Kentucky, which is the 4th district of Kentucky. His opponent, Ed Gallrain, who's a candidate. This is APAC tracking right now that I have that you're looking at the screen. That's where it's from. It's trackapac.com, and they track all the Senate and Congress. This is for Congress, obviously, and how much money they take from APAC. And this is the screen where Thomas Massey doesn't take anything. This is the reason why Ed Gallrain, who raised now over $6 million that is coming from APAC and billionaire donors that are Jewish, like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, and it's true, like Miriam Adelson is one of them. And they want to primary out Thomas Massey for this reason. This is the reason right here. No money. Because he can't be bribed, he cannot be persuaded the way that APAC wants him to vote, especially on matters with Israel, like everybody else does in Congress. Why are they only signaling or targeting Thomas Massey? He is the only one that they are, for the Republicans, he's the only one that they are like, and President Trump is, and President Trump says it's because he doesn't vote with him, which isn't true. So the reason is because of this. This is it. David Smith, who just so happens to be Jewish as well, but is against our relationship with Israel. He says that this is probably one of the most important races because if Thomas Massey goes, APAC has total control. Like they've got it now anyway, practically. But Thomas Massey is absolutely America first. And he has to stay in there for that reason. And when he raised the money on Monday, now posts are coming out on X saying that most of the people that donated come from outside his state of Kentucky, and which ended up not really being true. So if you're going to look at X and you're looking at these accounts that say that practically all of the money that came for Thomas Massey came from out of his state, Kentucky, is not true. So don't believe what you are reading there. This is all propaganda. Social media is being used for propaganda. APAC is on there as well, and of course they are trying to discredit this website, which is the trackapac.com, which tells people how much money their representative is taking from APAC, and that is Israel, by the way. That is Israel. And Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who the Republicans targeted, like Laura Loomer as an example, the only reason why they bring this up, and those two candidates only, is because Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't take any APAC money either. So this is a big fat goose egg that APAC has from Thomas Massey. They cannot buy him out, bribe him to vote the way they want them to vote, which is for Israel usually. Well, look at this war in Iran. It's the same. That's the idea. is that they're using us, our money, to do their bidding. This is what's happening here. And people need to realize this. And so that's why I'm bringing it up. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because Thomas Massey, again, is not being funded by billionaires or AIPAC like his opponent is, Ed Galrain, which he is being funded by AIPAC and Miriam Adelson and others that want to get rid of Thomas Massey for this reason. For this reason right here, and that's it. So they have everybody else practically, but they want total control. These people are psychopaths, they're narcissists, and President Trump is the same. I'm going to go back here, and this is as an example. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Here's an example of just Kentucky alone and what Track AIPAC has for the representatives. Mitch McConnell's almost $4 million spent by pro-Israel lobby groups and their donors. Almost $4 million. Rand Paul, over 201,000. James Comer, over 201. Brett Guthrie, 108. Morgan McCarthy, 362. Thomas Massey, 0. I showed you that already. Hal Rogers. And this guy, Andy Barr, is over 1 million. That's all. I mean, this is what AIPAC does. And our representatives are absolutely influenced by AIPAC and the donors, because these donors and AIPAC want to pass legislation for Israel. This is how much money, this is for all the states, by the way, that Kentucky pays for Israel's weapons with their tax dollars, federal tax dollars. Over $134 million goes to Israel for their weapons. And this nonsense has got to stop. And that's why I'm bringing it to the forefront, because you have to know, people in this country need to realize that the reason why Laura Loomer, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin say and do what they do is because of Israel. And the reason they slam Thomas Massey is because he doesn't take AIPAC money. And they are absolutely 100% behind Ed Galrain because he's pro-Israel. And he's going to be another puppet for Israel if he gets in. So, I mean, $6 million over right now. Before it was 5, now it's over 6. And Thomas Massey had to do a money bomb on Monday night where he was able to get almost over $400,000. And those ads, he says, they're going to be ads for his campaign, are going to go in the state of Kentucky, whatever it is that he needs to do. But this website not only tracks the, I want to go back to the candidates, because I want to show Ed Galrain. Okay, here are the candidates that have so far taken money from Israel or the lobbies. I'm going to find Ed Galrain here. Here he is right here. Look at how much. Look at how much they have given him because he's running against Thomas Massey. It's almost $7 million. Look at that. That is unbelievable. That alone should let you know where these people are coming from. And it's not good. There's too much of this. People need to be aware of it, and they need to be careful of who they vote for. This is Nate Morris, U.S. Senate candidate, who is not, see how they put them, not pro-Israel. This is who you got to look for. Your candidates, whoever they are in your area, especially on the federal level, you got to know whether they're taking bribery money from a foreign government like Israel, because they take money too. I think this lobbying thing is a joke, as I think it's just, I think it's illegal. But this is what I wanted to say. So here's another one. This candidate is pro-Israel. This candidate is pro-Israel. This candidate is pro-Israel. This candidate is pro-Israel. Pro-Israel. They all are. Candidate is pro-Israel. Look at this. Donors include former AIPAC member. Of course, this candidate is pro-Israel. Endorsed by JAC, which is another lobby group for Israel. This is another one. Look at AIPAC. AIPAC's everywhere. Everywhere, even for candidates. This is what they do. They want to make sure that they have a stronghold in our politics. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's what's happening in the White House as well. And I think it's out of control. And I think people need to be aware that Ed Galbraith, Thomas Massey's opponent, it has taken in nearly $7 million from the lobby groups. Okay, and I showed you that Thomas Massey takes zero, and that's why they are putting a lot of money into Ed Galbraith. So I hope the people of Kentucky are aware of that. I hope, this is an example, just one example of many races, because they obviously, you can see that they put their money everywhere, especially if they're pro-Israeli. I think that's election interference, because this is a foreign government. I don't know what can be done about it. Something needs to be done. I do mention it on social media that AIPAC needs to be registered with FARA, which is a Foreign Agency Registration Act, I think it is, something like that, where if they do, and John F. Kennedy back in 1962 did an investigation before he was assassinated on the American Zionist Council, which later became AIPAC, that they were working with Israel. So I think AIPAC does work with Israel. It's just to me like too obvious. And I don't know, maybe people don't know this, I'm not sure. But I just made the video to, I think people need to be aware. They need to be aware of the interference that is going on here with AIPAC and the donors, especially the Zionists that are both Christian and non-Christian, but especially people that are pro-Israeli. So there was evidence in 1962 under JFK. The DOJ did investigate them, the American Council for Zionism, American Zionism Council, that is. They did, so they did find evidence of them getting money and direction from Israel, the foreign government. And then President Kennedy got assassinated the next year, and it stopped. And then Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I think it is, he was the DOJ there. He was the head of the DOJ. They also assassinated him. And Lyndon B. Johnson, when he took over, stopped all of it. And nobody has ever done it since. It has not been picked up by any other administration since then. And I think JFK was the only one that looked into it. So I think this is a problem, and I think people need to be aware of what is going on with these elections. and it's local too. It's not just national and federal. It's state too, and local as well. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They want control. They're psychopaths. That's it. All right. Well, you have a good day. Bye.